Now, I'm not saying that solitude is the solution for all of societal's ills, but what I am saying is it's a good starting place. Hello! Today I would like to talk about solitude, what it is, the benefits, what happens when we don't get it, and some ideas for incorporating it in your life. Today's video is based on a book I've been reading called Digital Minimalism. According to Newport, who's the author of this book, solitude is a subjective state in which your mind is free from the input of other minds. A subjective state in which your mind is free from the input of other minds. Basically, solitude is when you're alone with your own thoughts. Solitude doesn't have to happen in meditation or in a temple or in a retreat. Solitude can happen anywhere at any time, so long as you're not plugged in to the thoughts of other people. That means you're not listening to anything, talking to anyone, reading anything. It means that you're focused on your own thoughts and your own inner world. Only recently has solitude been noteworthy. At every point in human history, prior to about the last 50 years or so, solitude was completely built into daily life. It's only recently become possible to live a life that doesn't include solitude. Little moments of solitude were built in to our everyday routines. For example, if you were standing in line to get on the subway or at the post office or checking out at a grocery store, you would be alone with your thoughts. If you were doing yard work, mowing the lawn, doing gardening, you would be alone with your thoughts. If you were using the bathroom, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, you would have been alone with your thoughts. Even things like waking up and going to sleep. Throughout pretty much the whole of human history, we would have had those moments of quiet, at the end of the day and first thing when we woke up, where we were alone with our thoughts. But how many people now, as soon as they wake up, pull out their phone and start scrolling and being exposed to the thoughts of other people? Or even put in headphones and start listening to someone else's voice. And that's not a bad thing. It's amazing to be introduced to all of these different ideas. But we need solitude. As human beings, we are not meant to be constantly taking in information. We can easily get information overload. We are meant to take in information to learn and grow, but we need downtime to process that information and reflect on how it sits with us. And there's so many benefits to taking this downtime. There's so many benefits to having solitude. Solitude helps us to clarify our hard problems. Often without solitude, we can just sort of feel like something's off. We don't exactly know what the problem really is. But then we take some time, sometimes it's only 10 minutes, or we go on a walk and suddenly we're like, oh, I get it. Oh, that's what the problem is. And we begin to get clear. Solitude brings clarity. It may surprise you to know that solitude also improves our personal relationships. When we take time away from other people, not only do we come to better understand which relationships we value and where to invest our time, but we actually begin to appreciate other people more. Whenever I come out of a personal period of silence, I feel overcome with love and appreciation for my closest friends, and I'm able to really take in and appreciate all the little things that make them who they are. But when I'm rushing ahead and just connecting and always around people I begin to take those people for granted. Actually, people that spend more time alone, they tend to actually have better health of their relationships. Solitude also helps us to regulate our emotions. I think this is one of the greatest reasons why most of us need more solitude. It gives our body and mind a chance to process through emotions. Again, this is such a natural part of being human, but we've lost connection to so many natural parts of life. When we take a moment, we can actually feel what we're feeling. Rather than trying to numb the feeling by scrolling or distracting, we feel what we are feeling. And often when an emotion is witnessed, when it's felt, it just drifts away. You know, it's there for a moment. It teaches us what it needs to, and then it goes on its way. We need solitude to regulate our emotions. We find an increase in moral courage after times of solitude. I feel that human beings need periods of reflection. It's so easy to get sort of like trapped in patterns that might not represent like the highest part of our character, but we're just in such a rush and we're just going and going, and so we live out these patterns like over and over and over and over again without even fully realizing what we're even doing, without even fully understanding the impacts of our behavior on other people or even on ourselves, the ways we're hurting ourselves, things like that. Just taking a little bit of time and quiet, often we can come to understand, oh, here's where I'm self-sabotaging myself, or here's where maybe I'm lying to myself, or actually this little thing I'm doing is really born from love and it really comes from the soul and I should do more of that. So in this way, solitude helps to make us more morally courageous. I think it brings us into a place of clarity. The clarity comes in the spaces of silence. If we can just have the courage to just unplug from other people's thoughts for just a little bit. And now I want to discuss a phenomenon that Kel discusses in the book, which is what he calls solitude deprivation. A state in which you spend close to zero time alone with your thoughts and free of the input of other minds. So if in the span of a day, you're always talking to someone or reading or listening to a podcast or scrolling, and you have no time to be alone with your thoughts, that's solitude deprivation. And some symptoms of solitude deprivation include anxiety, always feeling anxious, always feeling a little bit on edge, always feeling a little unsettled, confusion. I think it's natural to be confused when we're just taking in information, especially like in this social media age. There can be so many competing opinions. Of course we feel confused. How are we meant to know how we feel when all we're doing is reading the opinions of other people? Solitude deprivation leaves us feeling confused. A sign that you might be deprived of solitude or resisting solitude is habitual scrolling. So it's like if every moment when you start to feel a little unsettled or you start to feel a little distressed, you reach for your phone because you're looking for a distraction in some way. We don't necessarily consciously know we're doing that. These devices were inspired by the design of slot machines, designed to give us that high and keep us scrolling. And so I know it's by design, it's not a personal flaw. But if you have that habitual scrolling, if the first thing you do when there's a moment of silence is reach for the phone, that can be a sign that you may have solitude deprivation. The full gamut of mental health issues can be seen in people who are deprived of solitude. There's a phenomenon in Generation Z. They were the first generation to grow up with smartphones, where they won't have a lot of memories of a life without smartphones. And I believe the author said that in that generation, there's a 10 10-fold increase in reports of depression and suicidal ideation. That's shocking. A lot of my clients have children about that age, children in Generation Z, and they're so concerned. They're asking, what can I do? And the truth of the matter is, like, they may just need to go on a walk in nature. They might just need to talk to you face to face, to spend more time at the dinner table without the phones. These little things, but it's so hard when you don't know solitude. It's so hard to know the benefits that it can bring. I'm not saying that solitude is the solution for all of societal's ills, but what I am saying is it's a good starting place. It's free, it's easy, and it just might be the thing that you need. So here's a couple ideas for getting started with solitude. And what I want you to do is listen to these ideas and just pick one that works for you. One that feels right to you that you would like to try. A little goes a long way, like a nice spice. So start small and build up over time. So here's some options. Start your day off with solitude. This is what I do. So just delay the time in the morning before you pick up your phone or talk to anyone. Just begin your day with solitude. So delay the period between waking up and engaging with the thoughts of other people. Take solitude on your commute to work. So like if you take the subway or you drive, either when you go to work or when you come home, maybe you even walk. Just don't talk to anybody, don't listen to anything, just be alone with your own thoughts during your daily commute. Take solitude when you're cooking or preparing a particular meal. So solitude when I'm cooking breakfast, or solitude when I'm cooking dinner, or when I'm making my lunch. Just to be alone with your thoughts. When you're eating a particular meal, just eating one meal in silence, especially if you struggle with emotional eating or mindless eating, this can be super, super beneficial, life-changing, so calming, so centering. I feel like I shouldn't even have to mention this. When you are taking bathroom breaks, so many people bring their phone into the bathroom every time, but just never ever bring your phone and just go it alone. Maybe you'll even start taking bathroom breaks just to catch a little moment of silence. Incorporate silence by taking a walk around the block or around your building or around your home. Just take a little walk around the same time every day, just to be alone with you and alone with your thoughts. Oh, that's one of my favorite ways to catch some solitude, is on a little bit of a walk. Practice solitude when taking a bath or shower. Our brain and body loves this. It's already such a relaxing activity, and it's a great time to process all the thoughts, ideas, and information from the day. Practice solitude when getting ready for bed at night or when getting ready in the morning, like when you're brushing your teeth, washing your face, brushing your hair, whatever it so happens to be that you do, just take that time for quiet. And if you're already doing some of these things, maybe you're already doing one of them, try adding another and see if it has a good effect for you. Take silence at a specific time every day, no matter what you're doing. Just do it in solitude. So maybe it's 3 o'clock every afternoon, or it's 7 o'clock every night, and maybe some nights, maybe you're eating, maybe another night, maybe you're doing laundry, maybe another night you're on a walk, but no matter what you're doing, when 7 o'clock hits, you practice solitude and you just unplug, disconnect, and take some time for quiet, alone with your thoughts. Take one day a week or one day a month and practice solitude for the entire day. This may work better for some people. This is so healing, and it's recommended even for empaths and highly sensitive people to do this every week, to have a day just for processing all the information and stimulus that you've taken in. So you could choose, for example, every full moon or every new moon or every first of the month or the last of the month, just to not listen to anything, not read anything, not watch anything, not scroll, and just be there with your thoughts. The reason I made this video today is because I've experienced so many benefits to increasing my own personal solitude. I feel so much better, like I sleep so much better, I have so much better mood, so much better mental health, so much better physical health even. I've just personally experienced so many benefits to solitude, and I just couldn't not share it with all of you. I always knew it was beneficial to me, but when I read this book and I saw that it's actually beneficial to most people and that it was a studied phenomenon, that's when I knew I had to share it with you. Speaking of books, the author recommends 3 books for further reading. Maybe consider this one as an audiobook, maybe Digital Minimalism or book at the library, or any of these 3. The first was published in 2017 and it is called Lead Yourself First. The second was published in 1988 and this is called Solitude, A Return to Self. The final book may resonate especially with women, and this is a classic published all the way back in 1929 by Virginia Woolf, and it is called A Room of One's Own. So if any of those books resonate with you, or if this book, Digital Minimalism, resonates with you, you might consider giving those a try. In summary, solitude is a subjective state in which your mind is free from the input of other minds. Solitude is something that you can practice anywhere at any time. It's simple, it's free, and it's likely to foster better mental health and emotional well-being for you. So I hope you'll try it because I want you to feel your very best and suffer the very, very least and thrive the very, very most. Thank you for watching today's video. It's been an honor to have you here. Many blessings to you and yours, and namaste. Have a great day and see you soon.